beliefs, the underlying issues, are actually causing your stress. This section on release is about letting go of those underlying beliefs so that you can be stress-free. Now, you've heard of Dr. Bruce Lipton, the eminent biologist, and he said that these negative beliefs are encoded at the cellular memory. And because of that, it's actually entrenched in our DNA. So that means that we keep repeating patterns. So over 90% of what we think and feel and do is actually being run by these cellular memories. So you're actually never going to be truly successful until you deal with those underlying issues. So this release section is about that, eliminating those underlying core beliefs, some of which you actually don't even know that are running your life. So release is about dealing with the traumas in your life, and trauma could be something really small, like say somebody feels insecure, and someone also might have PSD. So there's a big range of what trauma is, how it affects you. So these traumas are generally instigated when you're a child, generally before the age of 6. And so what happens is a negative event happens, the child is unable to express its emotion because it doesn't have the skills to actually say to the parent, stop, I actually don't believe what you're saying there. So what it does, the child says, I am interpreting this event to mean that. And so what happens is it's the interpretation that leads to the belief. And generally the belief is as a negative event. So that's what happens. It's encoded right down to your cellular level, and so you keep repeating. So you will never be truly successful, as I said, until you release what is happening right at that level. The thing about release is it actually turbocharges your results. Earlier we looked at the repair section, and the repair is actually about healing your physiology, but the release section is about turbocharging, so you get instant results. You can actually feel really differently instantly. So how does this work? Let me give you an example of how release works. So say, for example, you've had a stake lodged in your chest for a really, really long time. So what happens is your body has adjusted, and your physiology, your mental capacity, your emotions and so on, has adjusted itself to cope with this stake. So the stake is representing obviously your underlying core issues. So what happens is there's a wound around that stake, and there may be inflammation, there may be soreness, it may have moved the muscles or tissues and so on. So your body has had to adjust to fit that stake in. So what is going to happen when you actually release that stake? It's like bursting the boiler. You take out the core issues, which is the stake, which is actually affecting your physiology and your emotions and your mental state. What is left? You actually have a hole now, and it's like, goodness, what am I going to do with this hole? That's where you can actually fill up with new information or new techniques and so on. But still, in your there's still a wound, isn't there, in your chest, and there still could be soreness and muscles and tissues that actually need to heal. So you need to do both. You actually need to physiologically heal as well as take the stake out. If you do nothing and you leave that stake in, you're going to continue to repeat those negative patterns, those negative beliefs, those thoughts that keep you in stress, and you're going to be locked in pain your whole life. That means you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. So you'll continue success, fail, and eventually people give up. And I don't want that for you. So really you need to deal with this. Get rid of that stake first. So the order that you could do things is, if you want to feel instantly better, you do the release section where you take out the stake, right? And then at some stage you might need to or want to do the repair, where you actually heal the wound around what that stake has left. So that's what I'd suggest. Do the release section and get instantly better, and then do the repair section later. So in summary, what I want to say is that you have to release the underlying core issues before you can actually truly be successful, because these beliefs actually cause stress, and stress, up to 95% of all disease is stress related. The other thing to remember is that stress is actually running your failure mechanisms. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you in struggle and strain and pain and lack. If you don't take action, you're going to continue in that downward spiral and not achieve what you want to do. when you do take action, you're going to allow yourself to be successful. You're going to increase your energy, you're going to be more in control, and you're going to be more resilient so that nothing is going to affect you in the future. If you really want to be successful in life and you're actually ready to take that step and you want to feel better instantly, go to the products and services page and click on the release section. And I hope to speak to you soon.